there my lovelies, and welcome to my BookTube channel, The Sassy Library Fox. My name is V, and today we're going for my mid-year book Freakout tag. Yes, I managed to say that without stumbling over the words. Yeah, it's already July, so this means I gotta take a look at how far I already got with my reading goals, which books were great, which weren't. You know the drill. If you've been around on my channel and on BookTube, you know that a lot of booktubers are doing this after or at the around halfway mark of the year. So yeah, it's still hot in our flat. I decided to go for a really white shirt so that I can answer all those 14, I think it are 14 questions by now. I write them down below as well so that you can click on the answers you want to hear. You might not want to watch the entire video, so yeah, I'll make it easier for you. And yeah, what else? I got my coffee at the ready, and I think I will just talk about the books I read in the first half of 2026. It were, and that's really interesting, 24 books in total so far. And yeah, I said I wanted to read 46, so if I double that, I will definitely reach my reading goal this year. But yeah, it's only half the year. There's still 6 months left, and yeah, let's hope, fingers crossed, I will manage to actually read those 46 books and probably even more. The way things are right now, it seems like it, but never say never. Okay, gonna take a sip here. And then we will tackle the first question. My coffee is really hot today. I think I will put it aside because it's way too hot to hold it in my hand for the entire video. Anyway, first question. And the first question is, best book you've read so far in 2026? And I gotta be honest here, I've become such a picky reader. Honestly, I don't know when that happened, but okay, probably I do know when that happened, because a couple of years ago I decided to invent half pause, something Goodreads didn't manage to do up until now, and probably, I don't know if they will ever do this, but I decided for my comfort on my blog to invent half stars and even quarter stars. So ever since I changed that system on my blog, I've become way more picky with giving out 5-paw reads. So the only book this year that actually got 5 paws in total was Icarus by K. Ancrum. And it's also the best book I've read so far. I mean, I'm not that picky. I also had 4.5 paws and 4.25 paws. But yeah, Icarus was the only book I read in 2026 that actually got 5 paws so far. But I absolutely loved it, and this retelling with Helios as the love interest was just amazing. I really enjoyed this book so much, and the prose was so beautiful. The prose of the book and the characters, really, considering this wasn't an all too huge book. I think it were like 300 plus pages or so, but it was really, really good. I totally enjoyed it, and yeah, definitely 5 paws read. Okay, let's see to question number 2 before I take ages to do this video. And it's best sequel you've read so far in 2026. And I think that goes to Fish and Chips by Abigail Rue. It's one of the few sequels I read this year, and I rated it very highly. I gave it 4.5 paws. So yeah, Thai and Sane are always amazing. I love those two, and as sequels go, and this was actually a third book in the series, this one was great. I just love the entire cruise vibe, Sane and Thai getting to know each other better than before, actually playing a married couple because they are on an undercover mission. Seeing the really dark corners of each other's character and still deciding to love each other despite them or with them. Yeah, definitely the best sequel I've read this year. Number 3, new release you haven't read yet but want to. I'm going to say Heartstopper 6 here because I still didn't read the 6th volume. It only got out on July 2nd, I think. So I still got time, but I really want to read this final volume. It also makes me kind of sad because I've watched the TV series, I've read the Heartstopper comic ever since Alice Oseman started to write it on Tumblr, and I'm gonna miss this series so much, but I also want to know how it ends. It's going to be a sad and a crying and a happy and smiling face. I can't wait to watch the movie, which will come out soon as well, I think. So yeah, I'm totally looking forward to reading that one, and it's so on my list to read. I still didn't read it, but I definitely want to. Okay, let's take a sip here. By now I can even hold it in my hand, which is good. Question number 4. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Scorpion Deep by C.G. Drews. That's it. That's my most anticipated read for 2026 and the second half of the year. I've been literally dying to read this book. I mean, an eldritch sea god that gets obsessed with a human boy, I might add, body horror, sea gods. I don't know, it's just, wow. I can't wait to read that one. I'm so pumped for this. I entered about a gazillion of giveaways on C.G. Drew's Instagram page, but I haven't won my copy yet. So yeah, I will prevail. I will continue to throw my head into the game. Maybe one day I will get an ARC copy of that one before it's released in October. Wish me luck, seriously. I've been dying to read this book. Completely, totally, really. Okay, let's go to question number 5. Biggest disappointment. Well, I'm kind of happy to say that I didn't really have a disappointment in 2026 so far. The worst rating I gave this year were actually 3.5 paws, which is still a high rating if you ask me, and there wasn't even a 3 paws read so far. I think this year I've read many great books. A lot of them got 4 paws, some of them managed to get 4.5. I was very picky with my 5 paws. But in general, I had a really great reading year, and the only 2 books that got 3.5 paws were What Feast at Night by T. Kingfisher, and the second book was The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. And both of them still had me engaged, and I wanted to know how they would continue, and finished both of them. And yeah. They were still great reads. So I didn't come across a disappointment yet. Fingers crossed it won't happen until the end of the year. That would make this a really amazing reading year. Okay, number 6. Cheers with another sip. Biggest surprise. I think that would be the book I finished last, and it's Jade City by Fonda Lee. This book surprised me in the best way possible. I mean, it's been ages I read a fantasy book, and an epic fantasy or urban fantasy book at that. I really can't remember the last time I read a fantasy book like that. It's been a long while, but this one surprised me so much. From the characters and the lush world building and the clan wars, No Peak and the Mountain Men against each other. Wow, it was wow. Honestly, this book surprised me in the best way possible, and it really got a high rating from me. I think it was actually 4 3/4 paws. Maybe it might even be a 5-paw read. I haven't reviewed it yet and just finished it. So yeah, probably this will be the second 5-paws read of this year, but I didn't review it yet, and I need to digest it first. But yeah, it was great. It was so good. Honestly, what are you doing? If you haven't read that one, there's already the entire series out, 3 books. You definitely have to give this one a try. I totally get the hype and why everyone loves it so much. I wasn't that invested in a fantasy book series for ages. I even, and this would actually make it a 5-paws read, I even looked up character art and wiki in the internet. So yeah, according to my guidelines, this would be a 5-paws read, but we'll see. Number 7, favorite new author, debut or new to you, and I think that one would go to Ryan LaSala. I read The Honeys in February, I think, at the beginning of the year, and it was really great. Such a unique and interesting plot, and the characters, I loved Mars. Mars was amazing. They had a lot on their plate, but they were great, and I was totally pulling for Mars as a character, as a person. So yeah, Ryan LaSala really managed to surprise me as well, and I'll definitely read more books written by this author. Yeah. Number 8, newest fictional crush. I love this question. It's always interesting. But I always also have to think about it, because I don't tend to crush on book characters that easily anymore. A couple of characters I got to know when I was younger really set the bar very high. I'm talking about Aaron Warner and Will Herringdale here. Also checks. Anyway, we're talking about the current newest fictional crushes, and one of them would be Icarus, from Icarus by Kay Ancrum, because Icarus is really, he is amazing. He is intelligent. He is a thief and a burglar that exchanges art during the night for his father's forgeries. He has all the criminal energy, but he's also really such a lovely boy. And I just loved his character so much because he's very multi-layered. And there's also a really charming side to him. Boy, is he smooth. That boy is really so smooth, but at the same time he keeps people and his friends at a distance and still manages to be smooth and calculating and intelligent, and honestly such a great multi-layered character. I haven't read a character like that in ages, and it automatically made him a new crush. Also, he is really so sweet. Honestly, such a sweet boy. And the other character would be Amand Saphir from The House Saphir by Marissa Mayer. Amand was really such a sweet and cute guy as well, honestly. Those two really caught my heart and didn't give it away anymore. I really enjoyed both of them. Another sip. Next number on the list. Number 9, newest favorite character. And I think the newest favorite character, aside of crush characters, would be Hilo Cole. Or Cowell? How do you pronounce them? From Jade City by Fonda Lee. Because Hilo is really such a really complex character. There were things I loved about him. Honestly, he is such an honorable and charismatic and kind person, but at the same time he can be really ruthless and hard and cruel as well. He's a great fighter, but also has the brains to keep his people and his clan in check. And I really was fascinated by him and the duality of his character, how he can be compassionate and kind, but also cruel and cunning. And I loved him. I loved his character so much, and I'm totally curious how it's going to develop in the next 2 books, because there will come a lot my way. I can already tell that the next 2 books won't be easy, but yeah, I'm looking forward to read about him even more and to see how his character arc is developing. It's gonna be really interesting. Fonda Lee put a lot of thought into this one, and I can't wait to see where she's going to hit with him. Okay, another sip. Another question, number 10. Book that made you cry. Okay, I think the only book this year that actually made me cry was Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book made me ugly cry in the best way possible. So I would just go with this one. It was really emotional at some parts, and honestly the relationship between Joanne and Vanessa and her relationship with her niece Frances was just so heartwarming, but also achingly sweet and bittersweet at that. Yeah, it made me cry. It made me ugly cry. Not afraid to admit that. 11. Book that made you happy. And I will say Idol Prize by Katie Salvo here, because all the talk about dancing, K-pop idols, competitions, rivals to lovers, whatever, Andy and Min-chae being so persistent and sometimes stubborn, not willing to acknowledge their special chemistry, it made me smile. You can see, even talking about it, I smile. So yeah, this book made me happy. I can highly recommend it if you want to read a queer K-pop romance. Yeah. Katie Salvo writes the best K-pop idol series ever. You definitely gotta check him out if you haven't done that yet. Okay, Number 12. We're getting close to the ending. Most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. I bought The Picture of Dorian Gray. And as you all know, it's written by Oscar Wilde. But I bought a really special edition of this one. I'm gonna look it up if I find it in my shelves, because I had only just a little penguin version so far, and it's really legit one of my favorite books ever. And I decided when I saw it in one of the bookstores, I had to have an amazing copy as well. So I read the penguin version about a gazillion times, and I might even start to annotate it now, because I got the beautiful version I won't touch. It's so beautiful. I'm gonna take it out here. I think I got it. Yeah, here it is. The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, and it's really such a beautiful version. It even has sprayed edges. It's hardcover. I rarely buy hardcover books, but because this is one of my favorite books and my heart belongs to it, I decided I wanted to have it in a really beautiful version. And inside it also looks beautiful. All those sprayed edges in the back. It's just really, I couldn't resist. When I saw this special edition, I had to have it. I honestly thought, no, you shouldn't buy a second book. You already have one copy. You don't need a second one. You don't have the room and the space for another book. And then the devil on my other shoulder was like, but it's so pretty. Look at the sprayed edges. Look at this, and it's so beautiful. And it's your favorite book. You need to have a good copy of it. Yeah, since I'm holding this one in my hands right now, I think you can guess that the devil won and the angel had to give in. Yeah. But it's such a beautiful version, and I just couldn't resist. I think this is the first book ever I have twice. Every single book in those shelves is just one copy. But of this one, I had to buy the second one. And I don't feel guilty at all. No. I'm so glad I bought it. Because the next time I went into the bookstore, they didn't have it anymore, so I'm just happy. I'm happy I listened to the devil on my shoulder. For once. Okay, another sip. Number 13. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? And I'm so happy to say that last year I managed to get off most of the books. Even this year, I think I finished some of the books I wanted to read or finish for ages. And the only book that's still on my currently reading and I still took from the last year is Winter by Marissa Mayer. And I'm so going to finish this in 2026. I mean, I've managed to read a couple of really long books this year with more than 500 pages, so it can't be that hard to finally finish this 800 plus pages book, right? Right. I will manage to do that, and this is the only book I really need to finish this year. Seriously. All the others I can live with if I take them into the next year, but this one, it has to get off my currently reading. I will have peace of mind once I've finished reading this one. And it's also the last in the series, and I know it will be great, but I don't know why why I keep myself from reading it. I need to overcome my inner insecure child, or whatever. Okay. I'm gonna take a sip here. And there's an edition with a 14th question named Favorite Book Community Member. And there are a couple of favorite Bookish community members I love to talk Bookish with. Most of them are just following my channel and my Goodreads, and I talk with them on Instagram, like Caroline or Sabrina or Annie and Cem. Cem even has a BookTube channel. I can link her here. And also Becky. Becky and Cem have been so supportive and nice and sweet and kind. And they both have amazing BookTube channels. You definitely should check them out. Yeah, I think that's it. All the other people that follow my channel and comment regularly are not booktubers. I mean, Sarah is amazing as well. Sarah, thank you so much for still sticking around. And yeah, but she doesn't have a booktube, unfortunately. So yeah, those are the people that always support me, that have been around for years, and I really appreciate them and that they are sticking around. Which makes them my favorite bookish people. Okay, so I think that's it. That's the mid-year freak out tag. I haven't freaked out yet, but I think I'm on a good way. I might freak out if I don't get over 35 books by the end of October. That would make it hard to tackle my goal of 46, but so far I'm fine with the way things have been going so far. And I hope that I will have more time to read in July and in August, since it are the summer holidays and I will have holidays as well. I mean, not as much as my kid, but I will still get off from work and have a couple of days in which I can do whatever. Unfortunately, no recording, which is the reason I'm recording this ahead of time, because I probably won't be able to record a video for the entire month of August. Yeah. Anyway, this was it with my media book freakout tag. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you took a couple of recommendations with you. Maybe you read one or the other book I spoke about. If you did, let me know in the comments down below. You know I always appreciate a comment and I answer every single one I get. Some of them landed in the spam recently, so I'm trying to take a look at that as well. Just to warn you, if I didn't answer to some of them, I think they get automatically deleted if you don't answer them. So if I missed one of your comments, I'm very sorry. It might have ended up in the spam. Okay, this said, let's wrap it up here, and fingers crossed, the second half of the year will be as good as the first one. And yeah, I guess there's nothing left to say except of take care, stay healthy and safe, and see you around the next time. Bye!